I want to give you maybe 5 things to do and 5 things not to do. These are the do's and don'ts of a little pamphlet I'm going to put together. Number 1, what might be the most important thing that you need to do every day? In fact, I'll give you a hint, it's the most important thing. And if you don't do that, you probably won't be doing any other things. What might be?
Are you talking naturally or spiritually?
I'm talking naturally.
Okay.
Water.
That's on the list, but that ain't the one. But if you don't put it the other thing, you won't want no water. You
Get up in the morning?
No, you.
Are things you must do every day?
One more first. I can't believe y'all.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I know.
I mean,
Wake up. What was the question?
if you're breathing, you should know this one.
What?
I said, if you're breathing, you should know this one.
What's the question, Mrs. Z, again?
Drink water.
I forget.
The question is, what's the first thing you should do every day?
Breathe.
Yeah, breathe.
That's it. That's the first. See, we take that for granted, right?
Yes.
But see, you need to learn how to breathe.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Right.
you breathe, but see, you want to do some deep breathing so the oxygen can get into your blood and help to clean your blood and help to circulate your blood. Because without that, you won't be breathing. So breathing is the first thing. I was out front a few minutes ago, and I was just taking some deep breath, just taking in all that good fresh air. You want to do that as much as you can, or at least take a deep breath in, just suck it in for like 9 seconds, just suck it in as much as you can. Hold it for 9 seconds, just hold it, and then push it out for 9 seconds. You do that like 2-3 times a day. You're going to feel better. That's going to help your circulation. That's going to help your blood in a big way. Number two is the one you've been saying, water. Water is so important, and we got water, we don't drink it. How much should you drink? 1/2 of your body weight in ounces of water. If you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water. If you weigh 100 pounds, 50 ounces of water. 8 glasses is good. I do 2 quarts a day. I do the first quart first thing in the morning. You got to start flushing. You're flushing, because it's so important to eliminate. Real quick, anybody know the 4 ways that you eliminate?
Sweat.
So, perspiration is 1. Urination is 2. Okay. Defecation is 3. The 4th one?
When you exhale, you give off.
Your breath.
Breathing.
That's it. Breathing. So you breathe, perspiration, urination, defecation. Those are the 4 ways. They're important because you do not want your cells to get clogged up. Your cells eat every day, and they are in the process of eliminating. You have to move that out of your body. So we got breathing, we got water, and number 3 we got one of my favorite ones. I moved 600 miles away so I could get this every day. Sunshine.
Number 3.
Sunshine. You should do at least 20 minutes in the sun sometime between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Ideally, if you could, in your bathing suit so you get more of the vitamin D. 10 minutes to the front, 10 minutes to the back. Most people don't realize how important sunshine is. It's the vitamin D. It helps your circulation. It helps your blood. It helps so much. And we kind of like avoid it. I go to South Carolina, I just, want to get it. They come down where we are in that community. They got listed in the book 119 things to do. I'm trying to do one, and Jerry trying to do 118 others. But no, sunshine is real important. Now, you're going to use common sense when you do sunshine. You're not going to stay out there and bake yourself. Okay. Number 4, exercise. You know, the older you get, the more important it is. You need to exercise every day. Now, the American Institute said exercise about 5 times a week, at least 30 minutes a day. You know, you want to get your heart rate up where you can break a sweat. But I usually do 50 minutes a day, 5 to 7 times, you know, a week. But if walking is a great exercise, probably the best exercise. I mean, all the organs of your body comes into play when you walk. So that's a great thing to do in terms of improving your health. Number 5. You guys gonna like this one. Number 5 is to rest. Look at that. I have a positive sign. It's to rest. Rest is real important because you got to get up the next day, and like the old folks just say, you got to meet that mule in the morning. So you need to really rest because, I mean, things happen when you rest. And I'll give you some pointers on resting, because I would venture to say a lot of you don't know how to rest. Number 1 thing you might want to do is when you go to rest, you might want to rest on an empty stomach. Or your body will love you if you rest on an empty stomach, because your stomach and your digestive system will get a chance to rest. See, we too often we go to bed and we eat and then we go to bed, and then you've been you sleep all night and kind of wake up and you're still tired because you've been your digestive system been working all night using 23% of your energy just to break the food down and digest. So just to help yourself out, give yourself 4 to 5 hours before you go to sleep after you eat. That's a good rule of thumb. See, all these things play into being into nature. Also, it would be good if you had a regimen, if you went to bed the same time and got up the same time. It said, go to bed early, get up early. I mean, I like that. I like that because you want to get to bed early enough to get the deep sleep, which, according to the certain rhythm of the sun, it happens between 9 p.m. and 12 p.m. So I know a lot of us, we can't get to bed that early. But we got sick with you there. Right. Okay, so is that 5? That's 5 of the don't. Now, what should we do?
That was 5 do's. I think we must do.
Okay, now we want to find out what not to do. The first thing on my list is don't do shoot. There are some videos and stuff on YouTube. I forget the doctor's name. It's a medical doctor, MD. He got a 55-minute video out there telling you all the things that sugar does to you. I mean, he said to sports, this is the regular MD medical doctor. See, it's number 1, it causes your body to be acidic. Cancer loves an acidic environment. So, in America, we consume, each of us consume 145 pounds of sugar a year. Now somebody's getting 280 because they're getting mine. But that's, I mean, that's a lot. You go back 100 years, a person consumed 2 pounds of sugar a year in 1900. 2 pounds. Now 140 pounds. You know. And you wonder why this track of obesity, his cousin diabetes, they hang out together. Have y'all noticed that? That they hang out together. And they are not necessary. These are some of the things that bother me about the medical industry that, how shall I say this? I believe they can fix it. They don't fix it. Because there's a lot of money in people being sick.
That's right.
I mean, I read this article where if you got diabetes, it's like $720,000 the doctor will make before you die. And they ain't trying to let you die. I want you to know that.
That's right. That's right.
They ain't going to get you well, but they ain't going to let you die.
In the middle.
You know, the cancer industry. I don't give no money to cancer. Because I remember in 1970, President Nixon declared war on cancer. And it's not any better today than it was in 1970. What was that, 44 years ago? See, I mean, that's terrible. And over the last 8 years, I've had people to tell me, but no longer than 8 years. Remember Dr. We met over in D.C. that said there was a cure for AIDS back in '87. But I have other doctors and other people that there's definitely a cure for cancer. There's no question about it. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. I personally know of a doctor in Alabama that's been cured cancer. Another one they put in jail. So we want to be really careful about sugar. Number 2, processed food. That's the thing that took me a long time to figure out. You know, I was a vegetarian for all these years, and I was doing good, but I wasn't doing good enough because I was still eating the wrong stuff. You know, after I got back from doing only juicing, I went back to eating kind of traditional food, and I would tell Jerry, I would be feeling so good, then I would eat. I wouldn't feel as good. Something's wrong with that picture. I couldn't figure it out. You gotta eat. I mean, I got so that I didn't kind of like food. You know, I did it, but because if you eat something, if you're feeling fine and something make you feel not good, kind of want to avoid that, don't you? Because I was eating the wrong food. It wasn't meat. It wasn't meat. See, what about these fat vegetarians? How do they get fat? And, you know, it ain't the meat, you know, it's the processed food that they eat with all the sugar. Processed food is real bad news because all the chemicals and preservatives that they put in there, it's just, you can't even figure it out, you can't even read it. You know what I mean? That's a biggie. And what's happening to our children? You know, they're all, you know, the obesity for kids is something like 18%. You know, it used to be like 6 or 7%. The obesity in America is, people overweight is 70% of the people in America are overweight. Obesity is getting to be about 40%. Black women, I got bad news for y'all. That's a whole nother category. Where on average it's 40%, black women is 62%. And that don't have to be. We can fix that if we just take responsibility for our health. You're going to hear me keep saying that because that's the key. When I took responsibility, things change. When you take responsibility, things will change. So, I'm about to start my own program. I'm not going to sell any product, but I'm going to sell hope and opportunity. Meaning that you got to get people certain information, and then they have to act on it. I found out that if you take the information, you look at it, you analyze it, and you act on it, then things gonna change. One thing I've learned is that change is not necessarily easy to make. See? We know it ain't the knowing, Colton. It's the doing.
It's the doing.
And see, that's another story because we get busy. We got this to do. We got that to do. I'm finding myself a little different because certain things don't make sense to me to make sense to other people. Because I figure, well, if I'm so busy and I don't have time to do this, and if I don't do this, I'm going to get sick down the road. So, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to get sick down the road. It's pretty clear because I look around, everybody getting sick down the road. So I don't want to go down that road. So I need to do something to stop me from getting sick now. Because the road is coming. See? So I pay attention to myself literally every day. I give myself a visit every day just to see is anything wrong or place, you know. Oh, by the way, I go to the doctor. I go to the doctor a lot. More than all of y'all. I go there every night a day. Well, actually I go more than that. But I get blood tests. I don't have them doing nothing to me, but test it and get my results. So I can see what they're saying and give a second opinion and look at the numbers. Oh, by the way, do you know your numbers? I mean, a few numbers you should know. You should know the blood pressure number. You should know the blood sugar number. You should know your body index number. I mean, there's some numbers you should know because numbers are indication of certain things. You should know your numbers. That's real important. Okay, so one other thing about the processed food. I belong to a health club down in South Carolina. They just started a year ago. And those folks are on it. They told me something I didn't know. They taught me how to read the labels on the food. We kind of like to see those labels and we kind of look at it. They taught me how to read the labels. And one rule of thumb in terms of the thing shouldn't have a lot of is salt. You know, I mean, real quick, the white thing. Sugar, salt, fat, white flour, you know, fat, just, you know, reduce those. But the labels. The part that says the number of calories, and then about to say sodium, that number, don't let the sodium number be a bigger number than the calorie number. So if it's 130 calories, the sodium number should be less than 130. That's a good rule of thumb. The government said we can have up to 2,400 milligrams of salt. You do that and you see what they happen to you. You can do that. And we're doing that and more. I'd say cut that in half. In fact, the government is going to reduce it from 2,400 milligrams to about 15. Somewhere, and then because they, I would say for us, at least cut it in half. Now, I know salt tastes good. It does. I mean, it tastes good. And it wouldn't be so bad if you could get real salt. I found real salt with minerals in it. Really, really good salt. I think that's the name of it. It's only harvest, huh?
I got some here.
It's only, I got some, they only harvest like 4 times a year, and they were for short. But it's lumpy, it sticks together, it's not convenient like we like it, and it's salty. You don't need a lot. But it's a food, and you need salt. I mean, you'll die without it. We ain't gonna die from that, though. But you need it. So not too much, but we need that. Okay. This guy that I've been following in terms of reading the labels. When you see labels on food packages, and they say, well, this, don't believe anything that's on the label. Okay? Don't believe anything that's on the label. Because they may put anything on the label, like all natural or whatever. Don't believe any of that. Now the section with the telling you about the calories, fat, and so forth and so on, I mean, you can believe most of that. But not all of that. Because they don't have to tell you all of that. For example, a bad fat is trans fat. Y'all know that's a real bad fat. If it's less than a gram, they don't have to show it. Suppose, it's a half a gram per serving. How many of us just do one serving that's on the label? We do 1 or 2 or 3, and then you got, 1.5 grams of fat, wrong kind. So you can't believe everything. Take responsibility for your health. Okay, that's processed food. That's a big one. Actually, we got salt in the process. Now, white flour. Flour. It's in everything. I mean, it's in everything. White flour, when I was a kid, we used to go to Catholic school, and we used to get those secondhand books, and we used to make a book cover out of a brown paper bag. We would fold it over, and then go in the kitchen, get a little cup, put some water in it, and put flour in it, and we make glue.
Yes,
We make glue. We make and put glue in and seal the cup. Flour, glue. You think some of that's sticking to you? Glue sticking to you? Yeah. I mean, why are you constipated? Something's sticking to you. Something's sticking to you. I mean, flour is bad. Wheat flour is bad. I mean, whole grain, that's a little better than whole grain. But we eat too much grain. Grain only been around for 10,000 years. Man didn't start out eating grain. You can't go wrong with vegetables, number 1, fruit, number 2, nuts, seeds. and that's what I eat the most. And two of my favorite foods, if you could eat these and live forever, greens and beans. Got a lot of nutrients there. See, they are very dense in nutrients, and they don't have many calories. It's hard to get fat eating that. There's not much fat in it, but there's a lot of nutrients there. Beans and greens. But greens is the most nutrient-dense food, like kale, and we're going to have some of that today. Kale's got calcium. If you're worried about getting calcium, don't drink milk. Eat kale. 40 times more than milk. The dairy is a whole nother subject. The way they handle those animals, treat those animals, dairy is not good. Dairy is not good. And beef is really expensive on the environment. I mean, it costs more to produce a pound of beef than any other meat. Very, very expensive on the environment. Okay, I got a couple other areas I want to hit. The planet is roughly 70% water. Your body is like 70% water. You might think,
three.
huh?
You just gave us three, was it, or did I feel down?
Well, I actually gave you four because the salt was one of them.
Oh, okay.
But
So it was,
yeah, I'm only going to give you actually four on that particular one.
Okay.
When you look at your plate, when you eat, it should be at least 70% water soluble.
what?
You ought to be able to reach down and squeeze it, and water come out. I mean, that's a good combination. Because we got to have a balanced diet, and we can't eat too much of any one thing. Alkaline versus acidic. Can anybody name me a few alkaline foods?
Berries.
Somebody said berries? What kind of berries?
Like blueberries.
Do you know that, or you just assume? Because blueberries are very good for you.
They are.
They got a lot of antioxidants, but that don't make them alkaline.
And I know the fruit has sugar as well.
I mean, yeah.
Just more sugar.
But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know for a fact, but I know some berries are acidic. You know, and that's okay.
If they're on the tart side.
Yeah, that's okay. I had a list here.
Don't greens have alkaline in them?
Greens are.
Greens,
Greens
like
are
healthy greens?
alkaline.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah. You said you want some foods that have alkaline?
yeah, greens are.
Greens
Mhm.
I'm gonna run down a list real quick
Okay.
of some alkaline. Alfalfa. Okay, alfalfa, almonds, apricot, asparagus, avocado. Avocado is really a good fruit.
And fat.
A really good fruit, by the way,
And a healthier fat.
and very healthy fat. Bamboo shoot, beans, greens, lima, string bean, fresh bean, cabbage, cantaloupe, carrots, celery, cherry juice, collard greens, coconut, dates, honeydew melon, honey, mango, olives, papaya, radishes, soybeans, squash, tomatoes, watercress. And here's some acid food. Alcohol, barley, beef, buckwheat, candy, cheese, all cheeses, cherries, chicken, codfish, greens, cornmeal, coffee, crackers, eggs, frog legs, goose, jellies, lamb, lentils, liver, lobsters, macaroni and cheese, mayonnaise, oatmeal, as good as that is, oysters, peanuts, plums, shrimp, salmon, as good as that's going to be, turkey, veal, vinegar, walnuts, and wheat.
Aren't you supposed to have some acidic things?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Because you gotta have acid. You're gonna break the food down in your stomach. You gotta have,
Right.
you gotta have some of that, but not too much. You gotta balance. You don't want it to be too acidic. For example, you know, your blood is on a scale of acid to alkaline. It's on the alkaline side. It's 7.4.
That's restricted.
That'd be good. It's 7.4. It tells you whether you're acidic or whether you are alkaline. And you don't want to go too far on the acid side, or you don't want to go to the extreme on the alkaline side either. But the acid side is much more dangerous.
Respiration rate.
Are you guys still using fluoride in your toothpaste? Well, if you're over 14, you don't need to do that. Your teeth was already developed. You're just adding rat poison to your teeth.
Oh, Jesus.
Rat poison, fluoride. That's what they use to kill rats. Huh? Yeah, in the toothpaste. In the toothpaste. Get the toothpaste without none of that. That's what I do.
Like Tom's?
Yeah, Tom's got it.
Arm and a half or maybe.
Prescription medicine. Man, they got it going. They got it going on. They got everybody and his brother, now we got a sister. And there's absolutely a time for that. But you got to take responsibility for your health and see if you get on it and they tell you, well, here, you're going to have to take this for the rest of your life. But that got to be a lie.
Yeah.
You know, and we accept that. Okay, the rest of my life, pharmaceutical, cha-ching, pharmaceutical industry, the rest of your life. You need to take it for a certain period of time, but not the rest of your life. You ain't but 40 years old. You got another 60 years to go.
Right.
If you hang around with me.
We trying to hang with you.
Yes,
I'm on the way to 120. I can't wait to I get there. You know how people lie about their age? I lie about mine too. I'm 75. I'll be 75 in 30 months. 30 months, I'll be 75. I took a test. I take a test every 6 months just to see how old I really. The last time I took the test, I was 52 years old.
Wow.
It's a 45-minute test that you answer about 100 questions.
Wow.
I was 52.
What about the one that tell you how long you're gonna live?
I took that, but that test is wrong. That test said I'm only going to live to be 109. I know it's wrong.
What?
Just hold
They
it.
said it's going to be 109.
You gonna live longer?
Just hold it.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
I'm 20 maximum. I don't see no reason why it's not, you know. Only reason I probably down to get tired, you know. Get bored, you know. I met a lady that was tired of living with you. She was saying, I can't wait till the Lord take me, because
Oh, wow.
I done lived, I done had a good life, you know. Husband died. She said, I'm ready.
I gave you one. It's
But,
Yeah, okay, thank you.
getting back to my other point, about prescription drugs, you know, take responsibility about that, you know. When you get on the drugs, you know, have a goal for when to get off. I mean, don't let people tell you that you gotta stay on there the rest of your life, because that will probably shorten your life.
Yeah.
Probably will. So, you know, high blood pressure, and diabetes, I mean, I'm assuming everybody in here know diabetes is absolutely curable. Absolutely. I found that out when we was with Walt about, what, 6-7 years ago. Oh, no, in 06. And Dr. Wallace saying that, I mean, a whole lot of doctors saying that now. Absolutely, you don't have to. I remember one time he said, once you got diabetes, you will always have it. That's an absolute lie. And I think a whole lot of other diseases is curable. But you got to work with your body to get yourself in a position to, if you come on the attack, you got to have reinforcement down there in your immune system to go on the charge. Because, you know, living in this environment with the pollution and what have you, I mean, you can't stop all of that. So you got to have something down there. You got to keep your immune system strong. So eating the right food, drinking the right water, getting the right quality of rest is going to build you up and build your immune system up. So when these things come to attack you, you know, you're on the defense. You know, people would say, "Well, Zeke, you know, don't come close to me. I got a cold." When they tell me that, I just get all over. I don't get a cold. How come I don't get a cold?
Your immune system is strong.
Some of them be so nasty though.
Oh, brother.
I got something for them. They come down here, they won't get out alive. But guys, I'm open for some Q&A.
Can you tell us about the laws? Yes.
Oh, that's a strip that will tell you whether you are, for your saliva, whether you are acid or alkaline.
Should we do it now?
Yeah, wait a minute. All you're going to do is just put it in your mouth, wet it, take it out. 'Cause it should be like a 7.4. It should be green. If it's yellow and real yellow, I'm going to call 911. Okay, go ahead, do it.
Mr. Allen.